Hello and welcome back to my channel. You're watching Through My Eyes Beauty. My name is Ty, and long story short, I was getting ready to do a video and then I realized I needed to trim up my eyebrows. So I'm just going to bring you in with me and show you all what I do. It's going to be super quick, and this is more so for those with sparse eyebrows. If you have beautiful full eyebrows, you can definitely follow this tutorial as well, but a lot of what I'm going to be explaining is mostly meant for those that have thin spots or places where their eyebrows don't grow in. And I mean, the show must go on, right? You got to figure it out. So if you have those types of struggles, stay tuned. If you just want to know how to do your eyebrows and fill them in, stay tuned as well. All right, so for this tutorial, I'm going to use all drugstore products. First things first, I like to comb up my brows to see what I am working with. One way that you can tell how or what hairs you want to remove is by filling in your brow the way you would normally fill them in. For example, normally I would start probably about, I'll bring you guys in. Hopefully you can see. But if you can tell, my eyebrows already kind of have a line here. So I'm just going to kind of follow this line straight up. Right into my brow there. And then you can kind of see where the arch already starts. So this is pretty much the line in which I normally fill my brows in. And anything underneath that, these hairs here, are where I trim. So again, I'll show you all on this side. Comb brow hairs up. I know how I normally like my brow, or just how my brow normally grows in, or you know, just the amount of arch. All of that you take into consideration, and you just go up. Boom. Now everybody is different. Everybody's brow is going to turn out different. Just kind of be careful and keep in mind, you know, when you start trimming, keep in mind the shape and how you normally do your brows. Because one thing about this method, if you find yourself too high, you're going to mess around and not have a tail when you don't wear makeup, unless that's what you're going for. There are some people who actually cut the tails off of their eyebrows all the time and just fill them in every day. That is not what I personally do, so I keep that part in mind. So then you look straight on, you kind of see if they are even. I feel like this one might be a little bit higher, so I'm going to move this one a little bit higher. Alrighty. Now for the top portion, pretty much the same deal. This just comes up a whole lot higher than everything else. So I think I want to start about here. I naturally have brow missing here and a sparse spot there, but because I fill my eyebrows in, I just keep going. Alright, so in theory, if I was to fill my eyebrows in, this is pretty much the shape that it's going to take on. So everything outside of this or above that line is where I'm going to trim. Again, use your best judgment on your own personal eyebrows, but this is how I do it without shaving my whole eyebrow off. So again, same deal, starting a little bit below that line. Again, brow doesn't grow there, but I'm going to imagine it and keep going. So okay, again, looking straight on to ensure that my brows are going to be even to the best of my ability. Again, brows are sisters, not twins. So as you can see, a lot of that is going to be gone, whereas there's not a whole lot of this side that's going to get chopped off. So boom, I'll show you on this side, then I'll do this side on my off camera. So I am not super confident about plucking. Usually when you pluck from the root on your hairs, they tend not to grow back, or not grow back as fast. Because my eyebrows are sparse, I choose not to do that method. I just trim them up, and when they grow back, thank God they grew back, okay? So just short, choppy motions. I like to start there first, and then I'll go under and these are still short, choppy motions. You don't want to make any quick moves, because then you're going to chop your eyebrow off, and you don't mean to. Alright, so as you can see, there's nothing on the outside of that line. I'm going to brush it out just to make sure that I did do or chop off as much as I wanted to. Got a little straggler here. Boom. Alright, so now that I got both brows pretty much trimmed up how I would like, I'm going to add a little bit of alcohol on a pad and just wipe everything off. After using a razor, you usually want to add a little bit of alcohol or peroxide just to make sure you clean the area very, very well. So this is how you trim your eyebrows when you have sparse eyebrows and still have eyebrows left. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fill them in. There are two ways you can fill in your eyebrows. There's the natural way, or what I would consider a natural way. And there's, of course, if you have a makeup look where you want to add a little bit more drama, that way. I only use 2 products for both. I'm a pencil girl, so I use pencil to fill in my eyebrows. And for a natural look or a natural day, I'll just add a little bit of clear gel. And what that does is it gives me a little bit of texture, kind of takes the just the wash of color, so it's not just a solid eyebrow, and kind of separates it and looks more like hair strokes. So that's what I use this for. And then for a more dramatic look, I still use my pencil, and then I go in with a brow tint. This is my dupe for the Gimme Brow from Benefit. This is the Ulta Beauty one, and I actually prefer this one a little bit better because I feel like I have a little bit more control with this wand versus the Gimme Brow. Let's get started, and I'm going to do the natural brow first. So again, just sweeping up, giving my brows a little bit of shape, and then filling them in. I actually like to just, when I'm having a natural day, just go up. And fill in wherever needed. Also, if I'm having a natural day, I will not use concealer under my brows to clean them up unless I feel like I have to. So just fixing that tail there. But I usually do not fix the top of the brow. I still let it be feathery, just like that. And just using hair light strokes. It is completely up to you how dense you want your eyebrows to be, but I find that I end up having some issues when I take pictures. If I don't fill them in fairly dense, I'll find I have bald spots in my eyebrows for pictures. So that is why you see me being a little bit meticulous with it. So, boom. There you have it. And then of course just flick the front for whatever you feel like you need. And then in with the clear brow gel. So boom. So for the more dramatic brow, pretty much the exact same process. It's just that the brow tint is going to deepen my brow without me using a pomade. And also, along with filling it in that way, I will usually line underneath my brow to ensure I have a nice, sharp tail. And this is the NYX Brow Pencil in Espresso, by the way, in case y'all were wondering. This is not the first time I've used this, and it will not be the last. Also, if you are of a darker skin tone, they do carry a brown black or black brown. So if you are interested and you love pencil and you would love a more affordable alternative to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz, yes, honey, I love this. Now, this is important. So if you have skips in your brows, I usually just draw a kind of like a bridge, usually a little bit more faint than that, but I'm a little heavy-handed today, right over that sparse area, and then I continue to fill it in. So boom. So this brow is just a little bit more filled in, a little bit more precise, and it looks better with more bold, I'm getting ready to go out type looks. Be careful if you are not going for the blocked in look to just make sure that you feather the front. And again, make hair like strokes all the way through. Boom. Going in with my brow tint. What shade is this? Deep. So with this side, it didn't really matter if the brow tint actually touched my skin. This is a brow tint, so if I put it on my skin, it's going to smudge and not look very good. So when using a brow tint, I would recommend starting at the tail first, because you don't want this to deposit most of the product at the front. Usually the front is the more faded, more blended, more sparse area anyways. So I would recommend starting from the tail first. So boom, as you can see, I am literally just semi combing through the brow hairs. Turning and twisting my wand. Boom. Boom. To maybe fill this part in a little bit more. Alright, so another reason I prefer this method is because if I have sparse brows, if I go too bold, it doesn't look natural. Like if you're going around and you don't have no eyebrows and then all of a sudden it's like wham! Deep black, block brow. We all know that ain't yours, sis. That don't belong to you. So when you do it like this, in my opinion, it looks a little bit more natural, a little bit more put together, a little bit more discreet. Like maybe you filled in your brows, but when I filled them in, they was mostly mine, you know? Well, you get it? Yeah? Okay. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just go back and forth and make sure it looks how I want it to look. Like that little spot right there at the top. I don't want any more brow tint. I'd rather just kind of draw in a few more hairs to make it match. Once you have that brow tint in though, just don't touch it, because you're looking to smudge it, but it sets the brow in place. And I love it so much. So that concludes my brow tutorials. Let me know which brow you actually prefer. Do you like the everyday brow, or is this your everyday brow, sis? And ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So hopefully this helped you all out. If you want more videos like this, let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Boo, boo. Other than that, be good, be smart, be safe, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Deuces.